Yeah, that return that got called back. How disappointing was that when you saw that?
Of course, it was very disappointing. You like to start with real good field position, but I don't necessarily agree with the call, but stuff happens. So,
It feels like we saw Mahdi get one. It seems like you're getting close. Do you feel like you're almost there, almost going to bust one open? It's just any moment now.
I feel like I'm always gonna bust one open every time. You know what I'm saying? So, it'll happen. It'll happen.
The game on Saturday is tough to throw out there with the weather and everything. Do you think that was the biggest factor, was the weather, or just things surrounding the game, or why wasn't the offense able to move like it has in the past?
I feel like the weather can always play a part in it, but at the end of the day, we just weren't executing as well as we could have and should have been. So the weather played a little part, but we also didn't do our jobs as well. They were executing in the weather, so why can't we do the same? We just need to focus on what we have to do.
That's kind of been a big thing about when the offense struggles. It's always been about execution. Like, what is it about, like, when you're executing the offense that makes it so much better than as compared to last week?
To be honest, it's just focusing on every play, especially when we have like bad plays and stuff like that. You have to just have short-term memory loss, forget about it. And then, as you've seen in the past weeks, if we just execute every single play, we'll get down there real easy.
We saw Malik kind of come in during the second half. Just how do you think he performed, especially coming cold off the bench?
Yeah. He performed really good. Actually, he put, 2 touchdowns on the board. We were back in the game, and I feel like he did exactly what he had to do, especially, it's always hard, just getting called right off the bench, boom. And he stepped in and did exactly what he was supposed to do.
TJ and Malik are 2 very different quarterbacks and all that. How does the offense change when Malik's in? And, like, was it like catching passes from him?
I feel like catching passes from him or catching passes from both of them is kind of the same. Once you really just get reps with both of them, it's really just like catching another ball. I feel like as far as running the ball goes, the defense kind of has to worry a little more, like, oh, is Malik going to run the ball, this, and that, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, everyone has their strengths and weaknesses, but I feel like when it comes into our offense, they, like, run the offense pretty well, both of them.
You're going up the road against Arkansas State. How does this offense kind of get a big bounce-back game after kind of a slow start against Coastal?
Like I mentioned earlier, short-term memory loss, so coming back to practice and working hard and, leaning on what the coaches are telling us to do. And, y'all have seen it past weeks. We can put up a lot of points. So all we have to do is just get back to what we know and just execute every play, and we'll handle business.
No Joey Hobert in the lineup last week, looking like he's going to be back this week. But how much does that affect what the offense can do when you're missing that piece?
It's always, Joey has made a lot of plays for us. So, it's always like a little hit or whatever whenever Joey's not in. But we have different pieces to put in different spots, but having Joey back, that'd be really great because that just adds another weapon to the field. Whenever 10 steps on the field, it's get a little scared out there. So
when coaches were talking about you going into the season, and they were talking about last year at Incarnate Word, where you were a freshman, you were a younger guy, and so you weren't in the rotation as much, and how you were going to be in it more this year, and that's come to fruition. How does it feel not to be the young guy anymore, to go out there and to impart the wisdom that you learned last year and be one of the focal points of this offense?
It feels pretty good. Normally high school and stuff like that, you're always that guy. And then come freshman year, kind of laying back a little bit and learning from, the older guys, it's a little different. But now, like, being back, being the focal point and doing stuff like that, it's a little better to be able to teach the younger guys this or try to help them out here and there. And I kind of like, I know what's going on a lot when it comes to the game and the plays and everything, so you can just get to play a lot faster.
You were on that Incarnate Word team last year. That was strong season. How do you guys finish strong this year with these 2 games left regular season, bowl game on the horizon? How do you finish it out and get some W's?
Honestly, just stick to what the coaches, the plan that they have for us, and just going 1-0 each week. So not worrying about South Al or the bowl game or stuff that's coming ahead. Just worry about what we have to do this week to get the dub, and each practice working hard and just perfecting your craft and what you have to do.
That's kind of been what Coach Kenny and Coach DePrado have been saying. Like y'all have the 24-hour rule. Even though last week y'all had the 48-hour rule after the bowl win. But how has that mentality kind of helped this team kind of avoid like getting to streaks, like getting to a 2-game losing streakers, or just kind of keep this momentum going?
I feel like once you, and I kind of use this whenever I'm, when it comes to being a receiver or whatever, say you drop a pass or this and that, I try to tell like the younger guys or whatever, once you drop a pass, you have to have that short-term memory loss or you're going to drop another one. It's kind of like a domino effect. So that's kind of the same way when it comes to games and all of that stuff like that. I feel like if you just dwell on that, then you're not necessarily getting better during the week if you're focusing on what happened last week. So whenever you have that 1-0 mentality and just that 24-hour rule, then you just flush it, and then all the mistakes, you just correct those mistakes and just worry about the next week.